Good, excuse me, afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your closing bell for Tuesday, April 20th. Actually, April 12th, I am so sorry, 2022, as we get yourself set up for tonight's action in the NBA, the two play-in games, the MLB with one final already. The Red Sox come from 3 back to win 5-3. Kike Hernandez finally woke up. My man, Mr. Garrett Whitlock, 4 shutout innings and gets us the win for my fantasy team. Thank you. Hope everyone cashed at the window. If you did have the Red Sox, we did not release that earlier today. As we were getting ready behind the scenes, Mike Trout, illness probable from Dawn Best. I know Trevor Story was dealing with some food poisoning, and I don't know what Mike's got. Every time you see illness, scratch, or whatever, we want to say it's COVID related, but this was not, so he is available. Busy schedule. I'm going to bring Scotty on. I want to show everyone something that I saw that we caught for the VIP guys. Doesn't mean it's going to win. It doesn't mean it's an end-all, be-all, but I thought it was pretty fascinating. So let's bring him in. From the Palm Tree State himself, Mr. Scott E. Webb. Afternoon, Scott.
Hey, Jeff. How are you today?
Good. I'm going to just throw you a quick curveball before we start the show. I just want to show everyone something that caught our eye today. And again, this is something that I myself, ECSI, does. So for the people that just jump on early and then they bail late, I just wanted to show them this. I thought it was pretty intriguing, and maybe you'd get a little chuckle out of this as well. I talked about the overnight number in the Chicago White Sox and the Seattle game, where the actual overnight number was like the White Sox minus 150. I saw some 160, some 165s as well, where actually the number closed at 110 or 112. Okay. So I just want to show everyone this. This is on wagertalk.com/free odds here. I'm going to go and show everyone this. I have it on full game right now. I'm going to go to first half, first 5, and show you guys something that was really intriguing. So again, I talked about the overnight. I talked about Vince Velasquez. We talked a little about Brash. And I talked about where this was minus 150. I did see a couple 150 highs, 160s. Look at the first 5. Now, again, I respect the opening lines. I really do. Baseball's a real fickle sport because when you're dealing with first 5s, obviously you're dealing with the team, but you're also kind of using the starting pitching as where you're going to go if you're betting a full game or a half game. Scotty, we talked about Vince. I talked about having Vince in diapers with the Phillies. That's a pretty significant move to have at circa Seattle minus 119. Can you give me your thoughts on the Velasquez, or is this more a Brash versus Velasquez? Because that's pretty intriguing, and that's a pretty powerful statement by Circa, having Seattle minus 119.
I would almost be willing to bet you one of two things. Number one, I can see everybody else has it minus 110, minus 115, minus 105 for Velasquez. So I'm going to guess they got a little bit of money on Brash. Now, so that changes where they got to put their number. But I will also say this. I will say that the public and everybody has heard this guy's name probably by now. He's made their rotation as a starting pitcher out of the spring, and everybody's falling in love with this kid. What I will tell you is he's a good pitcher, but he is not an ace kind of pitcher. He is not the guy that leads the staff. He's he's a good pitcher. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say he's not. I mean, I would rather have him out there than Rich Hill, for example, even though Rich Hill, well, I mean, he left the game behind 3-0. But I mean, he's not a veteran by any stretch. He's a young kid. He's a 4th-round draft pick. He was actually drafted by San Diego. He's part of all those trades that San Diego and Seattle made, and he's made this team. So I think a lot of people are like, oh, this guy Brash, he's a rookie. He's going to be really good. He's not that guy. So anyway, that all being said, you know, I don't know why the White Sox won't hit him. I mean, I can see the score's 1-0 right now, but I still don't, you know, I would say that somebody said, hey, I'm going to take a shot on this kid because I've heard nothing but great things about this kid, and I put some money on him. That's what I would think, because everybody else is got some kind of line there, and theirs is way out of line.
Well, to make a brash statement, no pun intended there, I think it's probably more against Velasquez versus the kid's young. It is what it is. Listen, he's no Alek Manoah, put it that way.
Yeah.
But again, where a number opens up at 150, you know, the correction was 115, closes at 112, yet Circa has a minus 119. I agree. We're hoping to have Jeffrey Benson on Friday, or late Thursday or Friday. He is the man behind the desk at Circa that makes everything happen. And I will make sure that I bring this up to talk to him about exactly something like this, where, you know, we talked to him. It's kind of funny. I'll tell you a quick Jeff Benson story. Is me and Dave were walking into the Circa, and Jeff was walking out. He gives us a big handshake. Hey, how you doing? Anything you need? Don't worry, come find us. And he goes, oh, by the way, anyone that wants to go against St. Peter's, please tell me. And we asked him the story. And that was the first round. St. Peter's was playing... They were 9-point underdogs. It was the second game after St. Peter's beat Kentucky. No one could come up with the right line there, and St. Peter's was catching 9. Well, someone went up to the window, and I think I told you the story, told everyone the story. I'm refreshing it now. Put up 60,000 at plus 8.5, and then put up 60,000 at plus 8, and then took another 60 at 7.5. And you usually don't take that third number. And so the guy had 180 large on St. Peter's, who ended up winning the game outright. And the rest was history there. But we're hoping to have Jeffrey on Friday. And we're hoping to be able to do some stuff with him on a weekly basis, where we might be able to, you know, kind of sort of, you know, be able to do some stuff that we're get more behind that scenes. We'll have Dave on Thursday at 11:30 in the morning. Dave has been there for 25 years. He can talk about Curacao. He can talk about anything on the Vegas Strip, where Jeff now is hands-on. So we'll be getting ourselves a different approach there. But anyways, I tied up 10 minutes of it. How you doing, Scotty? How's life going? And what are you seeing today, as in before we dive into the board?
Yeah, well, just to update, guys, we're sitting at about 15 people now, getting ready to dump into the Discord channel. So today's it. If you want in for free, this is the day. Get in and get your DMs to me, get the DMs to Jeff. That way we can get you set up, because tomorrow I'm probably going to open this thing up and get everybody dumped in there. So that way you can experiment with it and play around with it and stuff. So secondly, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see how things play out and where we go. It looks like we got some pretty good feedback from some of our newer guys on Twitter today. So kind of excited about that. And kind of like the idea that things are building and growing for us, and things are building and growing for everybody else. So when they grow for us, guys, behind the scenes, that means they grow for you too. So help us get to where we need to go.
Yeah, again, I don't want to say this is ground zero when technically it is. This is our second attempt at a Discord channel. A Discord channel is only as good as the people inside it. So it does me and Scotty no good to work our ass off, show you exactly what we're looking at, field as many questions as possible, produce 2 and 3 shows a day, to come back to some Q&A, and then have crickets. And then, to produce winners, how did I get the winners? This is what I saw. This is what I just showed you on the Seattle play. We released 2 games early this afternoon to the VIPs. And one of them was Seattle first 5. And the other one, Scotty, I really, really liked Pittsburgh today. I thought that Chicago was overpriced. But I went at it in a different angle, and I don't know what your numbers say. We have the team total over 3.5. I was expecting to get some runs against Smiley. Now, again, it's kind of funny because when you keep peeling these layers back, like Kansas team total over 77.5 instead of taking Kansas. Kansas didn't cover anyways, and the team total didn't. But again, I'm going to kick myself in the nuts if Pittsburgh wins, say 3-2 today, and they didn't get over the 3.5, because you could have got a cheaper price on Pittsburgh at, let's say, -105, versus they were juiced at -3.5, juiced over -140 today.
So you played it what in the first half over 3.5 or the full game over 3.5?
No, Pittsburgh team total full game over 3.5 -140.
Smiley, he's a wily veteran old guy. He's been around forever. But it's interesting because he's been involved in Pittsburgh Pirate battles. He's got 42 plate appearances against him from the Pirates. And you would think, okay, well, shit, the Pirates have a bunch of young kids. How are they going to have 42 at-bats? But Kevin Newman and Brian Reynolds, 2 of the guys that are going to play for Pittsburgh, they've batted against him. And both of them are 3 for 11 and bat 273 against him. So that's a little better than average. So it's just interesting to see how some of that stuff plays out. I don't mind that play. My thoughts, anytime you can go over 3.5 and you don't have the best pitchers in the world on the mound, shit, you should take that every time, because even when you do have the best pitchers in the world on the mound, they get hit too, and 3 runs is, well, look what happened last night. It's 4-0 going into the 8th inning, and the team scores 5 runs and you lose. 3 runs is not anything. The Red Sox were down 3-0. Now they tied the game 3-3, and then they go win again. So I don't think 3 runs is a big deal. So 3 runs.
And the comical thing is, if you get to 2-2, 3-3, you go to extras. Everyone starts with a guy on second, so it's almost a gift run as it is. So again, I did lean. We did lean. The number said Pittsburgh, but I thought the cuter way, I don't want to use the word cute. I thought the easier out, no pun intended, was to lean on the over there. So I'm going to go here. Let's see if I screw this up here. There we go. And it's a full board, Scotty. So if you need, you got your basketball up top, you got your baseball going on now. I got the hockey below, so the stage is yours.
Yeah, I wanted to see where that basketball. I think basketball game stayed 9.5. So I don't think it's going to make it to 10. Do you?
No, the only one that's showing -115 in juice is the square at DraftKings. WinBet's got it at 108. So I think they're pretty comfortable at leaving it at 9.5, because I think they think that if it goes to 10, all the shops will come in and pound Cleveland.
Yeah, well, my thought is, let me go see what pregame's doing. I'm almost there. Consensus. Here we go. They got $242,000 on it, and says 64% of the money is on the Cavaliers. So 52% of the tickets are on the Nets. It just, I think the right side is the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think, getting beat by double digits in this playoff game is our play-in game, I guess is the way to say it, instead of playoff game. So I still got a little bit of time to mull that over, but I think that's something you probably ought to try. Is that I don't mind it that much. And when it comes to the baseball games, one of my games is going on right now, so that is the Cincinnati Cleveland game. I'm staying on top of. I'm on the under in the Houston game, and what did that go to? I thought that came down a little bit. Where is that number?
I I get actually, what were you in on that one?
I was at 9.5. And it looks like it's still 9.5, but circa, but they moved it up to 125, right?
9.5 under 125. All the
Yeah.
rest of the places is 9 over 20 cents.
Yeah, I played 9.5 under. And I played Wheeler first 5 minus 115. What does his number look like now?
Wheeler is, what do you have on that?
First half minus the half line was minus 115.
I will go there right now. First half. And you said run line?
Yeah, minus the half a run.
Minus 115.
Still 115. Okay, so I think those are all still in play. And the only other one that I was really strongly leaning, and I'm still strongly leaning. I haven't played it. I'm trying to figure out what Alex Cobb you're going to get tonight, because I think this is going to be like a 1-1, 0-0 kind of game. I do think that, Darvish pitched a really good game his first time out. It's not to say he couldn't do it again, because he's more of an ace kind of guy. He's borderline there. So, I think if you were to take Cobb plus the half run, because I think that was plus 130, right, Jeff? Is that what you saw? Plus 130 for Cobb, or did that change?
First 5 are full.
First 5 plus a half a run.
It is plus a half run would be, no, that's not that. That's okay. So what they're showing you here is San Fran now the favorite. So you can only get them minus a half run plus the 130. You can get, it's flipped. The game is flipped now. So Darvish initially minus the half was plus 130, and San Fran was plus the 150. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I got you.
So
it's because it looked to me like that you could get him plus that half a run, and that was a pretty good bet. So at this point, I don't, that's a wash now. But I think that's a competitive game. Maybe what's the full game look like on the run line for Cobb? That's Trey. That's.
Let's go over there. Let's see if it stays the way I'm seeing it.
That's no good. Those are way too high numbers.
No, because they got them as the favorite now. So you'd have to give up the run and a half. You can't get the run and a half. See, the Padres right now plus a run and a half is minus 220. San Fran is now minus a run and a half plus 192.
Yeah, I got you. So it's almost like a pick'em kind of game. So this is kind of where I thought it should have been. And I thought, okay, well, if I can get a half a run and I can get plus 130 on it, that would be great. But I don't think that's going to happen anymore. So I think that's pretty much what I've got on the board today. That kind of eliminated that play. And I will tell you this, earlier today we had 3 pitchers that were not on the board. One of them was in Atlanta, and they're calling up one of their prospects to pitch tonight. I noticed that it really didn't change. It didn't really change the outcome of that line that much. I mean, it was minus 160 when there was nobody listed. Now it's minus 156, 157 with Elder on the mound. So, I guess there's some disrespect going on with Washington, but this is more of a play. If you like this play, it's more against Corbin than it is anything else. And here's a couple of notes on Corbin. Number one, just remember that there's a reason why he makes as much money as he makes, because he was a good pitcher when he pitched in Arizona. I will tell you that he has good seasons and then followed by bad seasons. And he's that kind of guy that has a season's worth of bad games, not just 1 or 2 games of bad games. So keep that in mind when you think about Corbin, that if he gets off to a good start, there's a good likelihood that he's probably going to have a decent season. And his first outing wasn't too bad. After we get through these first 3 or 4, let's see where he comes out, because he's one of those guys that's like I'm not going to compare him to this guy, but he's like a Tom Glavine, meaning that he's a left-handed pitcher that throws a decent fastball, but he has to pinpoint the location, and he's off. He gets hit, and he seems to have seasons like that. So be careful when you're betting against Corbin. He's not an automatic. He's not an automatic go against guy. The other one was the kid in Baltimore. The Baltimore is going to go with Watkins. Now Watkins has pitched before. He's kind of a long inning middle relief kind of guy at this point, and nothing special there. And he should get hit. Now I will tell you that Lauer is a guy that's probably a little better than what most people think. Now I'm not going to be betting on Milwaukee because Milwaukee can't hit the ball for shit right now. So I'm not playing that game anyway. And then I think that solves the problems of those guys that weren't listed as pitchers this morning. And I don't think we really have that problem tomorrow. Now tomorrow will be fun. It will be fun for me because I'll have a lot more handicapping to do because we got pitchers making second starts tomorrow.
Quick question. We talked on the Breakfast Bankroll about Bieber and Mahle today, and they're in that pitchers duel. Bieber with 3 Ks through 2. Do you have any idea or any way of seeing where his velocity is today?
Yeah, hang on. I can tell you that Cleveland right now in the top of the 3rd inning with 1 out has the bases loaded right now. So that's good news for me and whoever followed me today. But if you hang on 1 second, I will get you Bieber and Bieber's numbers on this game. Hold on. We are almost there. So Bieber, so far, he's thrown 20 pitches in 2 innings. So that's really, really good. And his velocity on his fastball is 91.2, and he averaged 92 last year. So he's not too far off from that. He's a big slider guy. So he's thrown a lot of sliders. But what's really cool, maybe I should do a tutorial one day on how to do some of this stuff. But so he's thrown 20 pitches. He's got 8 swings, 3 misses. And so you're going to hear a term that I'm going to use as we get into this a little bit called CSW percent. That's called strike and whiff swinging, right? So it's a percentage. So he's had 6 called strikes and 9 whiffs in the 20 pitches that he's thrown, Jeff. That's pretty damn good.
That's my guy.
That's pretty damn good. That makes things pretty unhittable, to be honest with you. I mean, if you got 6 called strikes and 9 total of 9 called strikes, so that's 9 called strikes and whiffs in 20 at bat or 20 pitches. So that number is 45%. Anything over 30% is good, and he's at 45. So and he's only thrown 10 pitches per inning. So that means he can go a little deeper. Plus, he's already pitched once. So I think that's setting up to be good news. That's setting up to be good news for Cleveland here.
And he went 5 1/3, I think.
Sacrifice fly. Cleveland took the lead 1-0.
Okay, he went 5 1/3, gave up the tie-in run, and they pulled him. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets through 5 into the 6th today. So for me and the board, NBA, I'm a pass again. Hearts to all the victims in New York. We live in a crazy world, guys. I guess a guy comes onto the subway, throws a not a gas can, like a smoke bomb. Door shuts and he just starts firing away. I saw 16 people were shot, injured, wounded. I haven't got into any casualties or anything, but there was talks. I was asked, and I was kind of didn't know a lot about the story. If the Nets game was going to be canceled, and obviously due to the subway, that's a big part of the game. I think it was in the Bronx where this took place, and obviously it's in Brooklyn for the Nets. So I assume the game's still on. We're passing though on the NBA. Again, the VIPs, you can get there for $2 a day, guys, with our new VIP and Discord channel. It's $2 a day. It's $59.99 a month. My plays are sent to your your cell phone via text and email. Okay. And you're going to get into the Discord channel. You're going to get me and Scott there 24/7, 365. There's no team that works harder than we do. There's no team out there that breaks down baseball the way we do. And again, nothing against the guys out there and the women out there, excuse me, as well. Congrats to Ariel again, as she is the senior betting expert on MLB Network. But no one does it like we do. So you're going to be a part of that for just $2 a day. So you can DM me, you can DM Scott. You can go to our website at eastcoastsportsinvestors.com and scroll to the package and planning. You just click where it says email special $59.99 a day. Once I get the ding, I will then personally reach out to you, ask for your cell phone number and your email, forward that to the delivery service, and the rest is history. So we have two games. We have Seattle first five. Minus the 112, we got it against Chicago, and we have the team total of Pittsburgh over 3.5, which is now 0-0 in the bottom of the third. The rest of the menu, I looked around. There was some interesting games as well. Nothing really jumped off the board that was eye-opening to us. That doesn't mean later on today we don't release an evening card. I was an eye opener that Sandoval opened up 185 against Luzardo. If I did get into this, I would look into the Angels first five minus the half run there. Secondly, I know it's the Dodgers. I do. Listen, if you try to tell me Minnesota wheels out Bundy, and then hold on, I'm getting that. No, that's correct. Bundy on Monday and then Archer on Tuesday. Are you kidding me? Am I reading that right?
Yep. They don't got no pitchers, Jeff. Minnesota got no pitchers.
I loved Chris Archer in diapers with Tampa. Okay, I loved him in Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, he has nothing left. And here's a Dodger team that's limping in here, and Haney's another one. He's got nothing right now. So under overs 9. I mean, they probably have that after 3, and then you watch after 5, it's 1-0 or something. So that intrigued me that Haney was 135 against Archer. I'm not getting there. This one really smells. St. Louis overnight 250, now 165. It actually was 153 this afternoon.
Hey, St. Louis rocks that game.
I do agree, but it smells. It really does.
No, I get it. I mean, and you got to figure out how to play it. So
yeah, I would look
just left it alone.
I would look at a Cards first 5 here. Their bats are crushing it right now. You probably get them at even money first 5 minus the hook. Colorado, Texas, no thank you. And again, okay, I'm just going to say it this way. We talked yesterday about Houston and Arizona. We've been against Arizona their last 2 games, first 5. They're not scoring. I can jump in and grab Garcia minus the hook first 5 at even money. I think it smells, Scott. I'm just telling you, my spidey senses are up. I know Bumgarner is just a shell of himself. I would have respected the opening number of Garcia minus 160 versus 135 and having the public push it to 160.
That's why I played the under. I mean, I don't mind this game, although what I expect is Bumgarner to pitch halfway decent. And they have a rested bullpen. So I'm expecting both teams to have a rested bullpen. They didn't play yesterday. So I'm expecting both teams to have the availabilities to hold the other team down a little bit. So anyway, just news of note: Jose Ramirez triple and Indians 3-0, or Guardians 3-0.
Guardians 3-0.
So anyway, I play that under 9.5, and the reason. So here's the logic behind it, right? So I'm riding the Arizona, not hitting. So let's assume they score 1 or 2 runs. That's kind of what we're going to expect, right? So 1 or 2. So that means then that you're going to have Houston come up and score 8 or 9 by themselves to carry that number over. Can they do that? Sure. But is that statistically something you think they can do? No. So that's why I played it under. And if you're like me and you think Bumgarner has a halfway decent night, and for whatever the reason, looking at the matchups, he pitches pretty well against this team in terms of the players that are on the field that are playing for Houston. That's why I went under the number. So I think that made more sense to me. And I'm going to continue this every single day until Arizona gets 10 hits. That's just the way it is.
In the pucks, a lot of games. The VIPs know we do have one game tonight. I won't give that one out. If you do want to become a VIP, DM me. You will get that game as well. The St. Louis Bruins, the Bruins are banged up right now, guys. So if you're diving in there, seeing the minus 127, 125, good luck there. They are a lot of guys out. I will just tell you that. A game that kind of caught my eye was the Rangers overnight open at minus 125. Obviously, in comes Carolina, minus 114. It was minus 125 when we were doing the breakfast bankroll. I would keep an eye on the Rangers plus the 104, 105 at home against Carolina there. I think it's a live dog there. Edmonton, Minnesota, we're going to pass on. Nothing on the Kings in Chicago. Your Lightning against Dallas. I mean, you're getting a hell of a price on Dallas at home. It's kind of a big game for them. Again, Tampa minus 170. It opened up, now 157. A little too steep for us. And it's also tough to go on the puck line there, but you can get some big numbers. If you like Tampa today, play them in regulation. If you want to get froggy with them, take them on the puck line. There's some huge plus money on that. Nothing on New Jersey, Arizona, and the Vegas Vancouver game I talked about with our VIPs earlier today. So it's about that time during the day.
Hey Jeff, one quick thing.
Yep.
Matt Brash, right? So just a little further insight. You had asked me about Bieber and his velocity. So I just thought, well, let me just see how Matt Brash is doing today. His high max velocity, 99.2. His average, 97.4 velocity. So there you go.
Throw in the heater, or as Eck would say, the cheese, the high cheese.
He is how do I say? He is gassing it up, buddy.
All right, we've come to that part of the day here. Scotty's words of wisdom, or I should say Webby's words of his wisdom.
Well, it rhymes better that way, right? So anyway, we've been talking a lot about success, and this is a carryover from a couple of days ago. And I think that I wrote it up as success is a responsibility, and it's not just a responsibility; it's your responsibility. And the last thing I talked about was success being your duty. In this case, what I wanted to kind of talk to you about is how does that happen? How do you do it? And the first thing is assume control for everything. That doesn't say assume control of everything. It says for everything. And that's a big determination there, because you are then viewing things in your mind the right way. You're not then taking control of what happened. You are now taking control for what happened. So that's a big difference. So taking big responsibility and being positive. Now, a lot of what we've been talking about on this channel has been positive. So please, mindset-wise, understand that the more positive you are going through life, the more positive you are going through your work, the more positive you are in trying to be successful, then you're going to look at things in a different lens that you missed before. And those are very important things, especially when you get to the gambling side. So having said that, crybabies, whiners, and complainers make excuses, right? We've talked about that. And I think that's something that everybody sort of in their head thinks about. But think about it this way. So two things. One, don't be a victim and don't take a position of a victim, right? There's circumstances that come around. There's things that happen a lot of times. And a lot of times you put yourself in the position of, well, what was me? That's bullshit. Don't do that. So two, Grant Cardone has this famous saying, and I think it's famous because, and he made little bracelet out of them, and I wear them from time to time. And on the inside of the little bracelet, because you really probably can't wear it in public too much, it says, "Don't be a little bitch," right? I said that before on this channel, and I said it again. And what it means is don't be a crybaby, don't be a whiner, don't be one of those complainers, and don't put yourself into the position of being a victim or being in the position of having the view of a victim, right? You don't want any of that. So you accept a very high level of responsibility for being a success. And here's kind of viewpoints, right? So victims think that bad things happen to them. Victims think bad things happen often. And victims think something or someone else is always to blame. So when you assume control for everything, this is how it looks. Success happens because of something they did or you did to make things happen. And you make actions, you don't get acted upon. And that's very critical. Remember, we talked about be first? That's what that means. Be first. Here's a great phrase. And if anything you remember out of this, remember this. No matter where I go, there I am. I am responsible. I have a choice how I will respond to everything. And that's perfect. Because even in today's sports or anything else that happens, by assuming responsibility, you now can change the course of your actions. So where complaining and whining and etc., being a little bitch, does nothing to enhance your tomorrow for where you are today. The thought should be doing or making any action that to be successful is the only thoughts we need. Keeps the mind in the right spot. It keeps you focused on what's in the agenda, and it poises you to move forward. And in the gambling world, you always have to do what is right and make the right choice because you're presented with hundreds, if not thousands of options. And as you start to do these things, if you're not in the right mindset, you're going to make the wrong choices. So a lot of this is about where you keep your mind at. And it's important to make sure that the people you surround yourself with are the ones that keep your mind right. That's all I got today, Jeff.
And as we're sitting here, the blunders of the Mariners era opens up the floodgates 1-1. So we're 1-1, top four there. Bieber with another shutout inning. So it's 3-0 top four there, and bottom four of a scoreless game, Cubs and Pittsburgh. Great words of wisdom as always, Mr. Webb. I try to make every day relevant. In other words, someone asked me how today's going. No, what are you doing tomorrow, Jeff? And I say, well, it's Groundhog Day. Well, what do you mean? Well, I've been doing the same thing over and over for 7.5 years here at ECSI. It's just wake up, rinse, repeat, and do over. But I say that tongue in cheek because that's what we've signed up for. And it's not work. It's a passion. It's a dedication. And your words of wisdom, it kind of hits home, Scott, in regards to, I think in life in general, you can get caught up in so many webs, no pun intended there either. But in life, we talk about the drama, whether it's in social media, whether it's hanging around with the negative people to bring you down, or I like to listen to a lot of positive speakers, that whether it's a podcast, whether it's a 30-second TikTok. I get a lot out of Steve Harvey in some of his motivational talks, and I listen to Gary Vee a lot, and the fact of the matter is negative people are going to bring you down. That's just the way the fact of life is. And if you have a dream, you had a passion, you had a dream, and you followed your dream, and I assume your dream when you were a kid was to play in the Major League Baseball, correct?
Sure.
Okay. And my dream, I've had a lot of dreams. I've had a lot of dreams that have failed, and failed is the right word because you can't become successful without failing. And myself and Scotty here are following our dreams, our passion right now. And I I don't like to say we're at ground zero. We're 7.5 years, almost 8 years into this, and we have a long, long way to go. But I think we're getting there. And when we talked about being on the cusp of greatness, I truly, truly believe that. So the last segment of our closing bell show is always when he brings them to the table, Webby's words of wisdom, and it's great because it gets me grounded. It gets me thinking of exactly where you are and what you're trying to say. And I think again today you were spot on. So I thank you.
Thank you for letting me do them.
With that said, if you are wagering tonight or already have wagered today and are going to wager later tonight, please do it responsibly. If you have a problem, pick up the phone. There's an 800 number available. Ask for help. Why? Myself and Scotty care. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Scotty Webb at Webby20MLB, we wish everyone a blessed day. Have fun tonight. Cash a few tickets, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.